Everything we were taught is wrong. Did you know that the law of attraction is being taught wrong? What is the law of attraction? It's simply a way to get what you want. Here's 5 things that you can do right away to make it work for you. The first thing is you've got to feel what's going on inside yourself. You have to experience whatever pain is deep down in your subconscious mind. The second thing you've got to do is you've got to know what you want. And it has to be incredibly specific. It has to be precise, and it has to be compelling to you. The third thing you have to do is establish an emotional connection with the thing you want. And you need to do that on a daily basis. So it's something that you realize you really care about. The fourth thing is to know with 100% certainty it's going to happen and embody it as if it is already the reality that you're living in. The fifth thing that's essential next is to detach 100% from the outcome that you want. When I changed my approach to the law of attraction, it started working. How can you do this? How can you get started right now? It's easier than you think, but it's going to take 30 minutes a day, and you're going to have to do this consistently, or it's not going to work. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself, what's going on? The second thing is listen to the answer. Yourself is going to tell yourself what's happening, and you have to pay attention to that voice. Then visualize that thing that you've always wanted and live in and experience the life as if it exists. And you need to do this every day, and you need to do it for 30 minutes at least. The next step is ask yourself, how am I going to get this? What happens next? Listen to the little answer. It's going to tell you what to do. And then what do you do after that? Do it. That's it. I don't have a bone to pick with the law of attraction experts. I've got nothing against Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I've got nothing against Joe Dispenza, Create a New Self. It's fantastic. I have nothing against Bob Proctor, but they're missing something in what they're teaching. And what they're missing is simple. We have to experience the pain inside ourselves, or the law of attraction, for most of us, is not going to work as advertised. That's my point of view. Let's hear from our outlaw.
I thought I was the intellectual.
We're both intellectual outlaws, but you know, the intellectual outlaw and the intellectual outlaw doesn't set up well.
You guys don't get to fucking brand me. All right, the law of attraction. If it doesn't pay all your bills, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. What I say? I said, if it doesn't pay all your bills, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. Here's 3 things poor people say. I just need to get in front of the right people. That means you're not attracting the right people. I just need investment capital. No, you don't. You don't need any money to start making a lot of money. I'm pivoting my business. This is things poor people say. So last year you were an energy worker. Then you were a LinkedIn expert. Then you were a social media expert. And now you're a business coach. But don't worry, you got your credential. So how do you attract the right people? By showing massive value and adding massive value. What does it mean to add massive value? It means to say things where when you're speaking, people take pen to paper and they write them down. So here is a story from Frank Agan. It's a real life story. There's a guy at the hardware store who every Saturday does a demonstration on bathroom remodeling, do-it-yourself bathroom remodeling. 10 people show up every Saturday for 1 hour. At the end of the hour, 7 out of the 10 people hire him. The point of the story is give away all the information you have. If you're truly an expert, prove that you're an expert by showing that you're an expert. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, give away all your information because people will hire you for help with implementation, not for the information. You meet with people and they say, I'm a LinkedIn expert. You say, tell me 3 tips. Give me 3 tips. They can't give you 3 fucking tips because they're not an expert. So instead of telling people that you're an expert, start showing that you're an expert by giving it all away. Start with the emotional connect. When you're pitching, don't say, hi, my name is Jen and I'm from Minnesota. Nobody gives a shit about your name and nobody cares that you're from Minnesota. How do people feel by working with you? If you say, I help, you should quit trying now. Don't say, I help. Don't say, I. By becoming extremely well organized, you will significantly increase your productivity and you will substantially reduce your stress. That's the first line of my 30-second pitch. It's all about you. Reducing your stress, increasing your productivity by being organized. Has nothing to do with me. I don't even mention my name in my 8-minute pitch. Then have 3 packages, package A, package B, package C. You all have met with a lot of people on one-on-ones. You say, tell me what you do. And they give you 30 seconds of bullshit that means nothing. And you probably do that too, because that's what 90% of people do. Package A, package B, package C, the 5 added values of each one of your packages, and then logistics. Take the potential client and put them in the shoes of somebody that's already hired you. Marketing versus sales. I learned this from my friend Larry Call. Marketing is where you put information out there and the people come to you. So your calendar gets filled up by people coming to you based on stuff they see. And you will have lurkers. Lurkers are people that pay attention to you, but they don't let you know they're paying attention to you. Lurkers turn into stalkers. Stalkers turn into fans, who then turn into super fans, and super fans turn into clients. So the majority of my clients, it was 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years, that they've been following me before they actually hire me. So you put your stuff out there, they get on your calendar. Sales is where you have to meet with people and sell. Marketing is where somebody walks into the Foot Locker and buys a pair of Jordans. You know, the guy at the Foot Locker is not selling the shoes. The person's already predetermined they're going to purchase the product before they've gone into the Foot Locker. So there'll be people that predetermine they're going to hire you before they get on the call with you, which makes it a whole lot easier to sell. You do that by marketing. Your marketing is adding massive value. To see if you're adding massive value, take yourself out of yourself to look at yourself. Look at your last 3 LinkedIn posts. Do you have 3 tips in each one of those? Most people think they're adding massive value because of their stupid egos. So if you really look at what you're doing, is it valuable to other people? You can show it to me. I'll let you know whether it's valuable. Stubborn versus stupid stubborn. You have to be stubborn in order to be successful, but you can't be stupid stubborn. The number one thing you need to be doing with your business right now is the number one thing you're not doing. You're doing the parts that are fun and avoiding the holistic approach to your business. That has to do with the law of attraction because you're missing parts, fundamental parts of your business by not working on them. Lastly, this quote is accredited to Abraham Lincoln. The harder I work, the luckier I get. So there is no such thing as luck, wish, hope, or try. It's either you do or you do not do. If you're not getting the results you want, it's based on your lack of work effort. Every night before you go to sleep, create a handwritten to-do list, hour by hour with quantifiable measurements. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. you said you're doing emails. Are you doing 3 emails or 30 emails? Then take yourself out of yourself. You have an employee named Mike. You're paying Mike $200,000 a year. Take a look at that list you just wrote up. What questions would you be asking your employee? How many money-making activities are you doing per day? What are you actually doing with your time? If you're reading, researching, and creating and analyzing, I'm not surprised that you're poor. Those are not money-making activities. So you want to attract the right people, do the right things, put in the work, be objective about what you're doing, add massive value, and then the right people will magically appear before you. Larry?
The law of attraction doesn't work if you wait for the money to show up in your bank account. That's not the point. Yes, it's coming towards you. The opportunities are coming towards you. There is a indication inside, a little voice inside, an idea, a visual, whatever, that tells you this is the next thing you've got to do. And you got to do it, whether you want to or not. And guess what? It's usually something you don't want to do. I'll give you an example just from this week. My clients are financially successful entrepreneurs who feel a sense that something's missing. They want more. They want to go up to that next level. I'm looking for clients like that. Just this week, I got invited to speak to 200 people on a virtual workshop that I'm going to do of people in Silicon Valley who've been successful entrepreneurs, but feel like they want to have more purpose and more passion. They're sort of opting out of the Silicon Valley bullshit. How did I do that? I don't know. I was told, go spend some time on LinkedIn and meet some people. I detached completely from the outcome of whether that person I was meeting with was a potential client or not. Second, have an inner circle. I have an inner circle that introduces me to people because they know exactly the type of people who should meet with me, and I'll give him credit. And this individual that I met with is a perfect candidate for my September Red Pill Pathway program, and he is going to sign up. Third example, today I met someone who is on this call right now who is going to introduce me to a serial entrepreneur who makes, I don't know, 40 grand a month passive income. Exactly the type of person I want to work with. Is he my potential? Is he going to join? Is he a client? I have no idea. It doesn't make any difference. Does he know other successful entrepreneurs who feel like something's missing, even if he doesn't? Yeah, guaranteed.
I met with an idiot 2 weeks ago, although I meet with a lot of idiots. And he told me, I said, why are we meeting? You know, and he pitches me. He was telling me he's the greatest person in the history of the world, and he's magical and he's life-changing. He told me that for 15 fucking minutes. I said, that's fantastic. And then I did my pitch, which is actually legitimate. And then he said, okay, what do we do now? I said, now you pay me money or you go away. And he said, but I heard you had a lot of connections. I said, yeah, I have influence over thousands of people. What's your point? He said, I just need one. I said, no, it's not going to work. He said, why? He said, I just need to get in front of the right person. I said, you're going to tell them how great you are for 15 minutes straight, and they're going to think you're an idiot, and they're not going to pay you any money. And you might already be getting in front of the right people. But if you don't know how to pitch means to concisely and clearly articulate massive value. You might be getting in front of the right people, and those people are not attracted to you or attracted to what you're selling because you're not articulating your value properly. So it's not about I'm not getting in front of the right people. Like I said, the right people will come to you if you do things the right way. You shouldn't even have to, I mean, at a certain point, you don't even have to prospect anymore. I don't follow up. I don't chase. It comes to me. Well, at this point it does. It comes to me based on the what I put out there. I put out there one post a day, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn when I'm not on one of my lifetime bans. I'm on my 4th lifetime ban from LinkedIn right now. When I'm not on a lifetime ban from LinkedIn, I get 27, I don't fucking know why either. I get 27,500 views per day, and 70% of my business comes from there. So you put out the content, really, really take a real hard look at, I know you think what you're doing is great and I'm talking to somebody else. I'm talking to you. Take a look at your last 3 posts and ask yourself, if I read that, can I take action on those things? Would I write down 3 things based on each one of those posts?
Help people.
You're not adding value.
Help people. The guy I mentioned, that's, you don't follow up with people, help them. After somebody says, hey, I might want to work with you, help them. This guy that I mentioned who's going to join me in September, I think, who knows? I don't care. Somebody will. I introduced him to 5 high leverage, influential people that will make a big impact on his business immediately. And I checked with them first. I asked them, is this a good fit? You want to meet this guy, or are you too busy? And the answer was, oh, this is great. Thank you so much. That's all we have to do. Okay, let's get a couple of people in here. Talk about your experiences with law of attraction.
We got 2 hands up already, Larry.
I know, I see that. And then we're going to go to breakout rooms. We got Florian first, who had a big moment today or yesterday, right?
Yes, a big, huge moment, actually. It happens all the time since we started working together, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the both the perspectives, and I was really wondering, how can I be both super precise about what I want and detach from the outcome and take action, but in the meantime being in attraction? This looks very paradoxical. How do you deal with all of that?
Yeah. So John, you want to go first, and then
I
I'll.
think that's a great philosophical question. My undergrad's in philosophy, so I like philosophy almost as much as I like sex. It is paradoxical. So it's operating with intention, but not being concerned with the outcome. So your purpose is to make money, and you're going into business meetings, not get to know you meetings.
Get out of there.
I can't get out of here. I'm at work. You go into business meetings with the intention of making money, and you add massive value. You understand why you're there. You're there to close deals and make money. And you're doing that not by selling, by adding massive value to that person and showing that you have massive value. And then if they hire you, they hire you. And if they don't, they don't. You approach the most beautiful girl at the bar because you want her to go out with you. But if you're too thirsty, you come off with that weird fucking energy. She's not going out with you because you're a freak and a creep. So it's having the intention, but not being concerned with the outcome.
This is important to understand, that everything we were taught is wrong. And I'm not kidding when I say that. And I mean everything in the society, in the modern world. We live in a paradox. Everything is a paradox. Our brains don't understand this. It is not either or, this or that. What it is a pair of opposites turning into each other. That's how the real world works. If you allow that system to flow, it will work for you.
Hank.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right,
for the answers.
Hank and Hayim. That's right.
Okay, well, thank you. I think the two things are not necessarily exclusive of each other, because I've had a few conversations with Sajjad where I've said things that maybe seem a little bit limiting on the situation. And he says to me, very rightfully so, don't put a limitation on this. See it as the best possible outcome, and you'll draw that to yourself. He might not have said draw it to yourself, but he said see the best possible outcome. And that, in a sense, is one of the applications of the law of attraction. Of course, you have to do all the other things. I think the main problem that people make with the law of attraction is that they sit and they think, they want to think and grow rich, they visualize, they dream, they put together vision boards, they do all this stuff, but then they never go to business meetings and they never go to networking. So they never put their pitch out there. They never do anything. They're just waiting for it to come to them. Well, the universe finds that very funny, I think. So
You know, this system has a sense of humor. I can tell you that from direct personal experience with it. There's another thing they don't do. It's not just the work and the activity part. The other thing that they're not doing, and I know this as well when I didn't know how to do this right, and then I learned, was to really, really want it. It's to embody the future world and know with 100%. And I'm not kidding. You have to know there's not 99% certainty that won't work. You have to know with 100% certainty this is going to happen. How do you do that? Live exactly as if it's already happened. Because you know what? It already has. If you do that, you will succeed with this, and you must detach 100% from all outcomes. That is natural law. That is how it works. You can't escape that eternal truth. Here's my issue with Joe Dispenza. And I love Joe Dispenza. So I want to make sure I'm not disrespecting this guy, because it's incredible what he's doing. He gave me the feeling that training, and Napoleon Hill too, training my subconscious mind using tricks like mindfulness or meditation, or they've got all these tricks which somehow work. It doesn't work, especially if you got, like me, a lot of problems deep inside you that are buried outside of you. You must experience those problems. The minute they come into visual form in consciousness, they go away.
I would agree that Larry has a lot of problems. I know him intimately. I was born perfect.
Not intimately.
That doesn't mean sexually. Get a dictionary, Larry. I was born perfect and then I got better after that. Dan Pena quote, be careful of setting small goals because you might reach them. So in 90% of people on my survey, one of the questions is, what does outrageous success look like for you in 6 months from now? 95% of people really say, do better, have more clients. You don't even have a clear goal. Or even when they put like, 10,000 a month. I help hypnotherapists make 10,000 a month. You can't sell more than a hypnotherapist. So be careful of setting those small goals. And to what Larry said, and was that Hank that went last? Yeah, you really 100% have to believe it and have complete faith. And if you're an entrepreneur, if it doesn't pay all your bills, you don't have a business. You're not, it's a hobby. You're not an entrepreneur. You're a wannabe entrepreneur. But if you're an entrepreneur, it ebb and flows. So you'll make 40 grand in a couple of weeks and you won't make money for a little while, a couple months maybe. And then you just have to have complete faith that you're doing the right thing and that everything's going to work out. And even if you get, what I teach my clients is you meet with 12 people a week, 48 people a month, you land 3 to 5 people at 5,000 each, that's 15,025 a month, but that's still pitching 48 people and, failing the vast majority of the time because you're landing 3 to 5 clients. If you tell yourself before you're meeting with people, this person is not an ideal client, this person is not going to hire me, what is your percentage chance that that person is going to hire you? So there's 3 things you should think headed into every business meeting. Everybody has money, which they do. They spend it on drugs, alcohol, going out to eat, cell phones, shoes, whatever bullshit. Everybody has money. Everybody needs my help, and they're going to hire me. Hire them.
Good morning.
Morning, bro.
Everybody talk about law of attraction, and is the law of take attraction, attract action. So when you attract action, something happens because you got result.
Right.
And if I go further than that, it's if you don't sit in your head, you're not going to sit in your head. That's the first principle in the world.
Beautiful. So we got, it's 10:22, at least my time. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour. We're going to do 2 15-minute breakout rooms. So Jim, I think you're up next, right?
That would be me. Thank you. And something that I was going to address about another very, very famous Martineau as an example. There was a conductor in the 1960s, Florian, named Jean Martineau, conducted the Chicago Symphony. What he would do, though, is when he conducted, he had memorized the entire score. He knew Beethoven better than Beethoven when he was filling in the notes. The point is, by the time he would get to conduct it, he didn't even have to think about the basics of the music. He had it within himself. It was then modifications based upon the reactions of the audience, the strengths or weaknesses of players at that given moment, the hall, ideas that he had. So part of the paradox is a large part of this has to be memorized and so much a part of you that you're comfortable when you're making a presentation. I refer to it as the brilliance of stupidity. There are some things you have to do, meaning just be stupid, do exactly what this is, and then you're going to have the basis to be able to do variations on that, which is where the interactions with people come, and frankly, that's where the money comes from.
Jim, I spent 30, first, now 90 minutes a day, every single day, starting at 5 o'clock in the morning, by myself, with myself, doing nothing except figuring out what's going on inside myself. That's called practice. September 20th to 2020. If you're not doing that and living like that, the law of attraction won't work for you. Hey, Brenda.
Wait,
and then
before
Alicia,
Larry,
and then we got to
Larry,
go to the breakouts probably.
Larry, chill, Larry. I got it. Hold on a second. You're not even letting me talk, Larry. I'm part of the audience now. What the fuck was I thinking now? Oh, to Jim's point. How do you eat an elephant? Nobody knows how to eat an elephant.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
There we go. So there's 2 elephants. First elephant, create your pitch. Second elephant, memorize your pitch. Third elephant, be able to perform your pitch. You need to be able to perform your pitch if you're drunk, high, coming out of a coma. You just got punched in the face at 3 o'clock in the morning. You got to be able to pitch, because the second elephant, you want to land 90% more deals. Pay attention to me right now. The second elephant is to incorporate their specific needs in an interwoven way. So if you're pitching people and they say, that sounds good, James, that means you're doing a horrible fucking job. They should be saying, I need to hire you, or that sounds like it was made for me. That's when you're incorporating their specific needs into your pitch. You can't do that if you don't have your pitch memorized, and you can't perform your pitch. You can't be thinking about what you want to say. Brenda.
Hello, Sajad. My question actually is for you.
Oh, crap.
When you were talking about income just recently, just a few minutes ago, you talked about income and you talked about that question. Okay, when I answer that question, and I've seen that on lots of forums recently. When I answer that question, I think I do say something like $10,000, or maybe I even say something less than that. My question for you is how do you envision something that seems so far beyond where you're at right now that it's like a million miles away?
Well, I only made $500,000 in the last 26 days, so I understand poverty as well. No, satire. I was raised wrong. Don't fucking blame me. Larry, you answer that question first, Larry, please. I think that's more for you.
Brenda, it's called decision. There's a moment where you have to make a decision, or if you're going to embrace your life or not. And you're the only one who can do it. And usually the decision comes from having a lot of pain. I made a decision on September 20th of 2020 to turn a company that I'd bootstrapped to low seven figures over to somebody to run and do nothing in that company, potentially let it fall apart and put my retirement and future at risk to do something that I had no idea what it even was. I just knew I can't do this anymore. Something's missing. Something's missing. I can't live like this anymore, period. And I did it. I am not asking you to take that risk. I'm just saying, make a decision to create a life that you want to live in.
All right, I have two thoughts. Thank you, Larry.
And we got to give Alicia a minute. We got 3 minutes.
I get to answer the question too. What are you doing to me, Larry? I get to answer.
Go.
I'm trying, but you're interrupting me. I would have been done by now. Okay, this is not directed at you, Brenda. As Dr. Cat Williams said, it's called self-esteem, bitch, because it comes from the self. So the belief in self has to come from the self. It's not other people telling me that I'm great. It's 90% of people telling me I'm horrible, actually. It's me telling myself I'm brilliant, I'm gorgeous, my new girlfriend Camila is amazing, she's flying in from Spain next week. It's me telling myself these things. It's me telling myself these things. It's believable to me. So it's all about what you believe. And then it's understanding your worth. So I ask my clients at the end of the program, they finish the program. I've been very mean to them for 6 weeks and they've already paid me my money. I say, what is it worth? And they all say 4 to 5 times. They give me an exact number. They say 4 to 5 times what I charge them. So I know that what I'm doing is, except the people that fail, I know that what I'm doing is worth a lot more money than what I'm charging. So I'm worth a lot of money. I believe I know I'm worth a lot of money. You meet with me for 30 minutes, I'll change your stupid life in 30 minutes. So are you worth, this is a rhetorical question. Are you worth a lot of money? That's the question to ask yourself. And then you just have to believe that.
Alicia, 1 minute.
Two things, just the living in the future as if it's the present. I'm really in believing that the future is the present allows you to see what's coming ahead, because if you're just stuck in one point, I mean, basically our journeys are going from one point to the next, to the next, to the next. And you won't be able to see past that point. But if you really believe that you're already at that point B and you can envision what's going on, you can foresee what's coming next. And it just sort of starts to roll. I mean, you won't see the rock until you're right in front of the rock. But if it's way down the road, you'll never see it. And then the second point was
we're gonna Alicia, you're gonna be first to come in the after hours. So.
Staying on 30 minutes after the meeting, we got two 15-minute breakout rooms. Let's go.